Yeah, how are you? Yeah, excuse me looking down because I have some notes that I'm going to refer to here in a minute. In the great film um, Islands in the Stream, George C. Scott finishes the movie by saying, "Not one thing is true, it is all true." And so is all things are true regarding True Grit. Now, there's two movies. A good friend of mine was talking to another acquaintance of mine, and the guy goes, "Don't waste your time with the new movie. Watch the first one. The new one's crap." Or in so many words, that's what he said. And then I've heard people that say they don't like watching old movies and just watch the new one. It's so much better. It has better direction. It looks better. I really don't care. I don't really want to say this is better, that is better. There may be some comparisons and some contrast here, but they're both great films. If you want to see a good movie or you want to be entertained, watch these movies. And I agree with Mr. Kurosawa. He made the point that a good movie should be entertaining. He wasn't just looking to make art and, foo-foo art bullshit. He was looking to make an entertaining movie, and he thought it should be entertaining. And I think both these films are. So let's talk about them. Let's go with the first one first. It opened in the United States on 6/11/1969. It was directed by a gentleman named Henry Hathaway, who was 71 years old when that movie came out. He directed 66 films. He directed Steve McQueen in Nevada Smith, which is one of my favorites. He directed a famous movie called Of Human Bondage and How the West Was Won, which was made in the early 60s and had, probably 100 movie stars in it. So he's a player, no doubt about it. Okay, the movie had John Wayne, Glenn Campbell, Kim Darby, Robert Duvall, Dennis Hopper, Strother Martin, Jeff Corey, and Jeremy Slate are people that I recognized in the iBid or whatever they call it, the movie thing they do. So, and they all stood out, and there were many other people that I didn't name that were in the film that were just like standard Western players, like the guy who played the mortician was a stock player with the John Ford Company. Um, Very recognizable. And there was just a lot of faces in this film that you recognized. Now, the Coen Brothers film, which came out interestingly enough on the winter solstice day, 12/22/10, which interestingly enough, it's 6 months and 11 days difference. So the first film came out in the summer, where the second film came out in the dead of winter, which is interesting. I'm sure it's a coincidence. But anyway, you've got the Coen brothers, and both films were written by Charles Portis. The Coen brothers claim that the second film was more like the first film. I don't know. Okay, and we've got Jeff Bridges, Haley Steinfeld, Matt Damon, James Brolin, and a lot of the Coen brothers stock players. So, it has the quirkiness of the Coen brothers, um, and it has a historiosity about it, uh, and a darkness and a coldness that the first film doesn't have. Okay, so let me talk about a couple of the main characters. I want to compare the Ethan Edwards characters. I'm sorry, not Ethan, that was a Freudian slip. The Rooster Cogburn characters. Mr. Wayne won an Oscar for his performance in True Grit, and it was earned. He was fantastic in the film. He loved the film. He loved the part. He saw it as kind of a parody on himself. Because he had played a lot of sanctimonious people, a lot of, you know, heroic types, a lot of people without flaws, and A lot of people that would fall on their own sword to trap their friends. And this guy, uh, he was out for himself. He was totally a manipulative person, and he was uh, he was a rough character. Jeff Bridges was the same. Jeff Bridges is played was like a true actor. Jeff Bridges, he could play a goofball school teacher that never got laid, or he could play a guy that that could pick up chicks. Or he could play anything. You know, Jeff Bridges is a much better actor. He's more in the acting school with people like Dustin Hoffman or Robert De Niro. Uh, those types. Real actors. John Wayne is a person who essentially plays himself. And he really doesn't need to play anybody else but himself. Because he is himself. He is a real man. He was a real man. He supported himself for 10 years during the 1930s as a stunt man. He he had a scholarship to play football in UCLA. He could drink a quart of whiskey a day. He could smoke 6 packs of cigarettes a day. Uh, he was Rooster Cogburn. He didn't even have to play him. He was him. He could have been him. All he had to do was just be himself. Uh, I don't think so much with Jeff that way, because I think Jeff is a better person than Mr. Wayne. I think Jeff is a cultured, loving, kind-hearted, gentle guy. I think he could be a tough guy, but based on what I saw on some of his website and some of the stuff, he's just a good guy. I don't think that's true of Duke Wayne. I think he was a roughhouser, and I think he was a fair guy, but he was rough, I'm sure. Now, then you've got the two female leads. You got Haley Sheffield, I believe is her name, and Kim Darby. Right. Both of those gals did an excellent job. But I think the Haley Sheffield, I'm not going to say this just for a 15-year-old girl, but for any actor anywhere, she was just unbelievable. She was just strong. She carried the picture. Um, she had the scene with the negotiation scene with the horse trader. Um, the scene where she got injured. I mean, it was phenomenal. She was phenomenal. Um, I've only got a couple of minutes left, so I just want to keep this at 10 minutes. Um, I think the second film was a better film, but I think the first film has more traditional movie stars. It has two unbelievable performances by Strother Martin and Robert Duvall, which are absolutely clinics. I mean, it's a clinic. Strother Martin, especially, his performance as the horse trader, the way he does his lines, the poetry of it, the rhythm of it, it is absolutely beautiful. Um, the second film, the scene that sticks out to me is the scene when they find when Rooster and the girl come on to the cabin scene, and those two people were in there, and one of the crooks stabs the other one, and Rooster has to kill the other one. I mean, that is just a bleak, dark, foreboding scene. And I love it when he goes, "I can't do nothing for you," because he knows the guy's fixing to die. So, and I also want to say that the ending of the second film is just tremendous when that chick comes out and starts singing. I think it's "What a Friend We Have in Jesus." I don't remember, but it made me cry more than once. Um, they're both outstanding. Don't get into the mistake of saying this one's better than this one and getting into a debate. I'm not. That's how they divide us. Don't be a divided person. Enjoy them both. If you don't want to watch them both, that's fine too. Bye bye.